Welcome to my presentation. In this presentation, we shall see examples of equivalent fractions. So let me take an example here. We want to write an equivalent fraction with a given denominator. Let's say we have a fraction like this, 3/6, and we want to write an equivalent fraction with a denominator 36. We want to find what this number is going to be. So, let us write it out in different steps. Step number 1. We want to divide the largest denominator by the smallest denominator. So the largest denominator we have is 36 and the smallest denominator we have is 6. So 36 is a multiples of 6. So 6 times 6 is 36. So therefore the number we are looking for is 6. So as a second step, we're going to multiply and divide by the number which we've obtained, 6, with the given fraction. So we're going to multiply and divide. The fraction what we have is 3/6, and we're going to multiply and divide by the number which we just obtained, which is 6. We're going to multiply and divide by 6. So in this case, when we multiply the numerators 3 times 6 and multiply the denominators 6 times 6, we'll be able to obtain the equivalent fraction for 3/6 then. 3 times 6 is 18, 6 times 6 is 36. So the number we are looking for is 18. So therefore, as step number 3, we can write this as follows. 3/6 is equal to 18/36, or we can say 18/36 is an equivalent fraction of 3/6. So either way of writing it out is correct. So 18 is the number which is missing in the second fraction. So therefore 18/36 is an equivalent fraction of 3/6. Let's look at another example. In this example, we want to write an equivalent fraction with a given denominator of 16. Let's say the number we have is 4, and we want to write an equivalent fraction with a numerator we don't know that, and the denominator we have is 16. The number we want to find is that number. So as a first step, we can write this one as follows. For the whole number, we can always write that as a fraction by writing it writing the denominator as 1. 4/1 is a fraction, but it is also same as 4, is equivalent to what number divided by 16. So as step 2, as a second step, we divide the larger denominator by the smaller denominator. The larger denominator what we have is 16, and the smaller denominator what we have is 1. So therefore the value what we obtain is 16. So if we were to multiply by 16, multiply and divide by 16, we should be able to get that equivalent fraction. So as step number 3, we're going to take the given fraction, which is 4/1, and then multiply by 16 and divide by 16, like that. This is the number we're going to multiply and divide by. When we do that, the equivalent fraction comes out as follows. We're going to multiply the numerators 4 times 16 and multiply the denominators 1 times 16. 4 times 16 is 64. 1 times 16 is 16. So therefore, as step number 4, we can come back and then say the equivalent fraction, the number which is missing is 64, or we can say 64 over 16 is an equivalent fraction of 4 over 1 is an equivalent fraction of 4 over 1, or 4 over 1 is equal to, we can also write it as 4 over 1 is the same as 64 over 16. 64 over 16 is an equivalent fraction of 4 over 1. All these are different ways of saying it, but it means exactly the same thing. In my next presentation, we shall see how to simplify fractions to its prime form in its simplest form.